Yes,
but it
sir.
also keeps us in check.
Yes, sir.
And then the second thing that you're mentioning is the dua. So the duas, you'll see sometimes in videos, Muslims raise their hands like a beggar, but we're begging the Creator.
Begging him.
And we believe, and I've seen it manifest in my life many times. I think that's why we're even at the table.
That's how we know
I
each
didn't know
other.
who you were.
That's right.
And through this asking God to help and guide, and He has wisdom that none of us have,
Absolutely.
these miracles happen in our life.
Right.
So that's what the dua means. So you've
And the
noticed
dua,
an impact in your life.
and the dua is the weapon of the believer. My dua protects me more than my armed security, more than any gun I could buy. Those prayers, those supplications is the reason why I'm in this multi-man-hour studio in the biggest city in America. And like I said, I'm a kid from 54th Street in West Philly, where just coming to New York is a sign of success. Just literally, like if somebody just goes to New York, you could literally go here and just take pictures in Times Square. Where I come from, the beginnings I come from, that would have been like a accomplishment. So for me to be out here thriving for the last 20 years, mashallah, is only because of the will of Allah. But yeah, so I always knew about prayer. My mother is a prayer warrior. My father wasn't really in my life, but I'm always grateful to him because he is the reason and the basis of Islam. So, you know.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
He's still alive?
Yeah, yes, mashallah, he's still alive.
Explain to people who are not from Philly, don't know much about Philly, what it was like growing up in your community. You know, what was life like as a child in Philly?
I'm gonna tell you.
And what is it like now?
I'm gonna tell you, going back to my childhood, one thing I could tell you to give you an idea what it was like. This tattoo on my right hand, the 4933 on my right hand, I got this when I first started rapping. And the reason I got that 4933, it was a reminder of where I started from. So 4933 Hoop Street was the first house I lived in. And it was my grandmother's house. Like in the black community, the black grandmother is like the hub. Like no matter, you could talk to probably 100 artists, and I guarantee you at least 75 of them are going to say my grandma helped raise me, or my grandma. A lot of us in my era, because of the government putting crack in our community, it took our fathers away, whether it was jail or them being addicted. So growing up when I was a kid, it was the results of the crack epidemic. So when I grew up, coming to my grandmother's house, the best example I could give you in 5th grade, I'll never forget this. The principal over the loudspeaker said, you know, they would do like the deli wrap up, and she said, and to all the children, do not walk through 49th and Hoop Street. And imagine being a kid and you lived on that block when they say that. So that gives you an idea what my block was like. But as a kid, I didn't know it was like bad or crazy because
it's all you ever knew.
It's all I knew. And when my first signs of success, I just wrote on Instagram the other day, like as a kid being 10 years old and seeing, you know, it was a guy named Paddles. He had bought the Burgundy 740 Volvo. Another guy named Brock, he had bought the CLS Blue Benz. And then Mikey, who was like 16 years old when I'm a little kid. So imagine when you 10, 16 is like an older guy to you, but he was 16 and he had the red Mickey T Jeep like Nino on New Jack City with the top off. So for me as a little 10-year-old kid, I didn't see a doctor or a dentist or a surgeon. I saw Mikey, Paddles, Brock, Gary Green, Nafis. I seen these brothers in my neighborhood who were able to get these nice cars, and they were bringing the groceries in for their moms, and they were young. So for me, it was like, I want to do that. So as a kid, I never looked up to no rappers. Being a rapper was like corny to me. It was like, he fake, he a cornball. I wanted to be like the guys in the streets. Now at my big old age I'm at now, obviously I realized that was not the right thing, but I'm grateful for those experiences because even now, like when you said you met me and I was with CeeLo and Freeway and stuff like that, you know, the things I learned on that block is what made me be able to approach CeeLo when we first met and to have that relationship now for the past 10 years. Because CeeLo's a 5-time Grammy winner, and I'm a kid from the streets of Philly. Most people, the first question I used to get is like, how'd y'all even meet? And I always give all praise be to Allah, but it also is, you know, what my mother instilled in me, you know, being a man. You know, like I tell my kids all the time, if I die today, I'm going to die a man. You know, I never ran, I never told on nobody. I love my people. When I got it, my neighborhood got it. When I got it, my block got it. When I got it, my friends got it. My brothers got it. My sisters got it. And when I say got it, I mean anything. Like right now, yesterday I went and bought sneakers for my whole neighborhood. Not because I'm rich, but I had it. And they did a giveaway in my hood, and they didn't get the kids no sneakers. Me remembering being 10, 11, having new sneakers the first day of school, your audience might not understand what that means, but in a black community, you not having new sneakers could determine the rest of your school year as far as bullying, where you sit at the lunch table, friends, everything. So my thing is, now with them wearing uniforms, it's harder to tease the kids. So you know what the first thing they do? They look at somebody's sneakers. So for me...
Because everyone got the same clothes on.
There you go. So for me, I made it a point to say that every kid from 54th Street is going to have whatever Jordans they want, whatever Nikes they want, And I know some people watching will say, well, what's the big deal? That's just fashion. Yeah, it's deeper than fashion for our community and our culture. And I ain't make the rules. I was born into them. So for me, when I was young, wasn't no rappers buying me sneakers. It was the dope boys. It was the hustlers. They looked out for us. I remember going to the store for the old heads, and I used to love this. They would give me $100 bill and say, yo, go get me a pack of Newports and something. So basically, they stuff would come at like $6, let's just say. I would get $94 change, and I would go to give him his change. Say, yo, that's for you, young boy. I would take that change, go back to the store and say, can I get all ones? So I could have a big old whack of money pretending like I was them. But that also was teaching me financial freedom. That was teaching me business. And it might seem crazy, but I learned more from them people in my neighborhood than I ever learned in school. Ever. You know what I mean? So
it's safe to say, though, where you grew up was very dangerous.
it was very dangerous. It was very poverty stricken, flooded with drugs, but it also was like the most beautiful place in the world. The irony of it is crazy to say, but seeing that sense of community, like knowing that you can knock on the door next to you and say, hey, y'all got some sugar? You know what I mean? We ain't had no sugar, and they give you sugar
So
or whatever.
as long as you were from that community, pretty much you guys were all okay there.
Yeah, I ain't know I was poor until like I got older. So I was like grown. Like I was like, dang, we had it hard, but I didn't know that. My mother is the greatest mother that ever lived, and she's still alive, mashallah. And it's like I could complain about my dad being not around, but that would take away from my mother's greatness. So I'd rather praise my mother than disrespect or disregard my father, because he still played a part in giving me life. He gave me a slam, and my father was great musically, so I got so much from him without even knowing. You know what I'm saying?